The Velvelettes then and now. The Velvelettes were an American singing girl group, signed to Motown in the 1960s. Their biggest chart success occurred in 1964, when Norman Whitfield produced "Needle in a Haystack," which peaked at number 45 on the Billboard Hot 100. The Velvelettes were originally founded in 1961 by Bertha "BARBEE-MCNEAL and Mildred Gill-Arbor. The group signed to Motown in late 1962 and began recording in early 1963. In this video we are going to focus on the Velvelettes then and now. On our channel we feature such videos. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to our channel for such. Bertha "BARBEE-MCNEAL. Bertha recruited her cousin Norma Barbee, who was attending Flint Junior College, whilst Carolyn was chosen as the group's lead singer. The Velvelettes continued performing, with various members leaving and rejoining for various reasons. By 1967, Bertha had decided to devote all of their time to raising their families. The group reunited briefly in 1990, and the Barbee cousins and Gill sisters then went on to re-record their original hits and some new songs for the album One Door Closes for Motor City Records. In 2010, Bertha "BARBEE-MCNEAL and her cousin Norma Barbee Fairhurst reside in Flint. Bertha holds a doctorate in education and teaches in the Flint public school system. Norma is director of sales for a major hotel chain. Bertha "BARBEE-MCNEAL, a co-founder of Motown hitmakers The Velvelettes, died on December 15 in Kalamazoo, Michigan at the age of 82. She had been receiving care in a hospice for colon cancer. Betty Kelly. Betty Kelly, born September 16, 1944, is an American singer most noted as being a member of the popular Motown singing group Martha and the Vandellas after she left the Velvelettes. In 1961, she joined Motown singing group the Velvelettes. In June 1964, the group recorded "Dancing in the Street." However, Betty Kelly left the group to join Martha and the Vandellas. In 1964, she replaced Annette Beard as a member of Martha and the Vandellas. After her Motown years, Kelly moved to California, where she worked for a savings and loan association until her retirement. Kelly left the music industry after she became partially deaf in one ear. She remains connected to her Motown family, working with other artists at music festivals such as Sunset Junction, and most recently attending a special artist family night of Motown, the musical, on Broadway. She is currently 79 years old. Mildred Gill. Mildred enlisted the vocal services of her younger sister Carolyn, who was in 9th grade, and her friend Betty Kelly, a junior in high school. Further VIP singles included "Lonely, Lonely Girl Am I," in 1965, "A Bird in the Hand," "Is Worth Two in the Bush," in 1965, and "These Things Will Keep Me Loving You, B/W, Since You've Been Loving Me," in 1966. "These Things Will Keep Me Loving You" also saw the light of day for the Soul Records imprint in 1966. The Velvelettes continued performing, with various members leaving and rejoining for various reasons. By 1967, Millie decided to devote all of their time to raising their families. The group reunited briefly in 1990, and the Gill sisters and Barbee cousins then went on to re-record their original hits and some new songs for the album One Door Closes for Motor City Records. Mildred Gill-Arbor and her sister, Carolyn Gill-Street, live in Kalamazoo. Mildred is a registered nurse and a college instructor. The Velvelettes continue to tour to the present. Carolyn Gill. Soul singer who was born August 10, 1949. She was an original member of the Velvelettes and selected as lead singer. Carolyn was chosen as the group's lead singer by Bertha. By 1967, Millie, Norma and Bertha had decided to devote all of their time to raising their families. Carolyn recruited 2 new members for concert performances. The Velvelettes continued to record new material until September 1967. Carolyn dated the lead singer of the Monitors, Richard Street. Gill then married Richard Street in 1969, and the Velvelettes eventually disbanded. Gill then married Richard Street in 1969, and the Velvelettes eventually disbanded. The group reunited briefly in 1990, and the Gill sisters and Barbee cousins then went on to re-record their original hits and some new songs for the album One Door Closes for Motor City Records. In 2006, the Velvelettes contributed to the double CD Masters of Funk, Soul, and Blues present A Soulful Tale of Two Cities. Carolyn Gill-Street live in Kalamazoo. Carolyn is currently a school teacher in her hometown. The Velvelettes continue to tour to the present. Sandra Tilley. Sandra L. Tilley, May 6, 1945 or 1946, was an American R&B and soul singer, best known for being a member of Motown girl group The Velvelettes, and later joining Martha and the Vandellas. Tilley was recruited into the Velvelettes in late 1965 by the group's leader Carolyn Gill, as a permanent replacement for member Gail Saunders would retire the group to focus on her family. Tilley would remain in the group's lineup until their final disband in September 1967. In 1968, Tilley would later become the final member to join Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, replacing former member Rosalind Ashford. The first song she was documented to have recorded with the Vandellas was Something, which appeared originally on the 1970 album Natural Resources. She sang on the chart hit Bless You, Your Loves Makes It All Worthwhile, and the album Black Magic before the group splintered altogether following a farewell tour in 1972. Tilley retired from the music industry and got married in July 1972. After marrying, Tilley and her husband both relocated to Texas and settled in the Houston area. Tilley died after having a brain aneurysm on September 9, 1983 at the age of 37 or 38. Norma Fairhurst. Singer and performer Norma Fairhurst was born in Verona, Mississippi and raised in Flint, Michigan. In 1961, while a freshman at Flint Junior College, Fairhurst was asked by her cousin to join a singing group at Western Michigan University with Mildred Arbor, Carolyn Street, and Betty Kelly, which they named the Velvelettes. After the quintet won a talent contest at the university, fellow student and nephew of Berry Gordy, Robert Bullock, suggested they audition for Gordy's Motown Records. The Velvelettes signed to Motown in late 1962 and started recording in January of 1963. They recorded 2 singles in 1963, There He Goes, which was written by Fairhurst, and That's the Reason Why. In 1964, the Velvelettes recorded and released the single Needle in a Haystack on Motown's VIP Records, which peaked at number 45 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. The group then recorded He Was Really Sayin' Somethin', which peaked at number 64 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and at number 21 on the Billboard R&B Singles Chart. In the late 1960s, Arbor, Fairhurst and McNeal left the group and were replaced by Sandra Tilley and Annette Rogers McMillan. Then, in 1969, Carolyn Street married and disbanded the Velvelettes. Fairhurst went on to become general manager of the Radisson Hotel in Flint, Michigan. By 1967, Norma left the group to raise her family full-time. Today, she lives in Flint, Michigan with her family and remains active in her community. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you on the next video.